When we have difficulties or some struggles or set challenges, just remember it's not permanent. But sometimes you may have to make those hard choices. These challenges are temporary, and be patient with yourself and work through it. And the solution doesn't come overnight. So be patient with yourself. I'm Dr. Fernando Kuehnel, and I'm a clinical scientist for a drug company. When I was about 5 or 6 years old, my brothers and I, Adriano and Bobby, were left in the palenque or wet market, and we thought we lost our mother, and we looked around for hours. So we're little kids, we're crying, looking for our mom, where she was. We couldn't find her, and we looked all day, walk around palenque. I think part of my memories were a lady, after maybe hours, as a kid, you don't have a concept of time. And this Miss Jovita took us and then asked us, why are you guys crying? I said, we're looking for our mothers. We were abandoned by our parents. And the Philippine government had sent a letter to the newspaper, asking to claim us, but to no avail. And nobody claimed us as, children. And we were declared orphan then. When I got around 9 or 10, I think, 3 of us were processed to be adopted in the United States. They took pictures, and you get your vaccines, all this stuff necessary to travel over abroad. We were hoping to be adopted by the family in Wisconsin, but the family didn't expect kids, older kids. It's been institutionalized for a number of years, have some, emotional problems and problems with attachments, and probably a problem with authority. In new environment, can't speak the language, and having trust problem. So what happened is I called the social worker and told the story that my brother was getting physically abused, and we were not adequately being fed, taken care of, and things like that. And the social worker removed us from that family. So after 3 years in being in the United States, we were not adopted. So we essentially were foster kids. So I'm coming to a third parent, very loving. I mean, they try, they're very caring. They instill good values of being kind, being moral, and being disciplined. I think the relationship is, these are the best people in the world. They're very unselfish. They adopted 13 kids and sacrificed the time of their life here on earth devoted to helping children. They helped me a lot, tremendously. Just being there, believing in me, believing that my mom says, saying, he's a genius, we gotta push him. But it's just hearing that from your parents that, that you're capable of something. It's a rewarding thing to hear. It probably took a while in my 30s to really realize that, to get over that hurt. I think writing it in the book is like cathartic. It helps you relieve those anger, those hurt that you feel. If you read my book, it tells you all about my insecurities and feelings like that, and how you get there. It's very. People tell me when they read it that it's very empowering. It's very raw, But it took me a while to get over that, and it's a lifetime process. One of the things I can tell you that helped me cope with a lot of this stress is prayers and being with God. And I think that was one of the things I think that's helpful. That was one of the savior, because I prayed a lot as a child. In the United States, what helped me is to have a goal. I wanted to have a dream to being a doctor to help others, and you wonder sometimes, is it the goal to help others, or is it the goal to make yourself feel better so that you're, don't feel so worthless, that if I'm somebody, It's like it's one of those things. There's 2 goals to it. One, you want to help others. And second is, you want to feel good about yourself, that you're worthy of someone. So that was my goal, and I said, I'm going to be somebody. And it's one of those things that really you know, that inadequacy that you feel as a child that drives you, and that drive me to really push myself, you know, and to achieve my goals of being a doctor. Life is never a straight line, right? There's always a curveball they'll throw at you, so you have to work with it. My teacher or my counselor, Mrs. Ritter, told me, you know, try nursing because you have a lot of avenues to go to that route, and there's a lot of choices, and they're right. And she's right. I got a scholarship to a nursing school, and then I got my master's and also my doctorate degree. And in that process, you know, I wanted to help others. And nursing is the most compassionate career. Nurses are just people are very compassionate and care about patients and people in general. And I became the clinical director at the University of Miami, you know, after 5 years. So I was in charge of the clinic just because I work hard and also very diligent of my work. And then because I was expert at a particular area in immunology, for example, in solid organ transplant, and the drug company recruited me because of my knowledge in that area. And I love learning, and my role is always about learning. Being a clinical scientist, or the other name for this, my role is a medical science liaison. And this role is always learning. And I think I call my job is like having your doctoral thesis is never completed, because you're always learning. And I love learning. I think being curious is one of the important factors to success. Not only discipline and hard work, but you have to be curious too. The K charity, or the Kabataan charity, you know, we started that in 2002, and our goal is to help improve the quality of life of the children in that orphanage. And whether to give them when my first visit, we give them refrigerator, cooler, some food, and medicine. So all those basic needs. We have in contact with the nurse there, and also with the head social worker. If they need medicine, we wire money, and we have volunteers in the Philippines who buy the medicine and bring it to the orphanage. So we continue this every year. So right now there are about over 180, so it varies, over 180 kids. And sometimes we reach out to orphanage like RSCC, the other orphanage. My first visit in the orphanage, I think around 2002 or so, was a very emotional one. I felt lonely because I know how these kids feel. You know, they feel unwanted, and when I give them, you know, candies, like the chocolate candy with gold wrapper, because I remember somebody giving that to me when I was a kid. Somebody came in out of nowhere and gave me that. And, you know, they said somebody cared about me. And I felt good receiving it, because I felt like somebody was thinking about me, you know, and I know how that felt. So I thought I want to give that in return. And I do that every year because I know that even a simple gift like that, it can make a lifetime difference. And that's what I felt. I still remember to this day, like it was just yesterday. I'm telling you, God works in mysterious ways. I met somebody in Manila. I told her I was looking for my family in Palawan. And God known, she knew my family, the Batul family. And I went there, she took me there and found my aunts and my uncle. I had, you know, I think, I don't remember, 3 or 4 uncles, but unfortunately my mom died just a year before. You know, they took me to her grave, and, you know, that I did find my family in Palawan, in Puerto Princesa. And I actually bought the house that she lived in, and just for, I don't live there, it's just that is vacant just because for sentimental reason, but I did look for her and found my family in Palawan. So I have a large family there. My message to my biological parents is, I forgive you. There's circumstances where you could not take care of us and you had to do what you had to do. There's no hard feelings here. My adopted parents, and to all the parents who adopt children, I think I want to thank you all who adopt kids, because my mom, if you ask my parents, why did you adopt 3 kids when you have, other kids to deal with? You know what she told me? She said, this world needs more parents, not more children. On my book, on the prologue, and she also said that she was driven, that there's a lot of kids that needs loving, and I can tell you that to love kids like me going through that abuse is very difficult. It takes a special person. There is no secret to success. It is actually, I think there's 2 major ingredients to success: discipline and hard work. And part of it is where you really should have a goal and focus on achieving that goal. And no matter what direction your life takes you, the life is never a straight line. I think there's going to be a curveball that's going to be thrown at you. Sometimes you hit it and sometimes you don't. But you have to keep pursuing that. I think, that's part of the secret to success is the discipline and also a hard work. Curiosity gets you to want to learn. And I think, my secret to success is just that following these 2 rules.
Malalayo kami sa mga pamilya namin, mami, kaya nga nagtutulungan kami lang dito. Mga talagang pag pumasok sila sa tindahan namin, gusto namin lalabas sila masaya.
Treat everyone as your family and friends po. Kasi mahirap din po kasi dito sa abroad, lalo na yung mga walang kasama mga family. Kailangan nyo po silang bigyan ng mga advices and then yung mga words of wisdom para naman po kahit papano ma-boost din po nila yung yung personalities nila at saka hindi rin po sila ma-homesick.
My name is Rhogie Reyes. They known as Rhogie Reyes. 8 years na dito sa Canada.
I'm Sheila Reyes. Almost 5 years na po dito sa Canada.
Umuwi ko na sa Pilipinas sa sakto. Hindi po siya din madali. Bilang unang-una, nagtrabaho ako sa isang fast food sa Pilipinas. So, umabot din ako ng mga 13 years as a crew sa Pilipinas. Work ako sa mga iba't ibang different fast food kasi parang yata yung kala ko yun talaga yung buhay ko. As in doon na lang ako, di ko inisip na magbabago pala. As a crew, paycheck, parang ganun lang, parang minimum, may konting adjustment salary pero is not enough lalo na kung may mga pangarap tayo sa ating mga anak o sa ating pamilya.
At first po, plain housewife lang po. And then later on po, napag-isip ko po na talagang nahihirapan na po kasi si Rhogie talaga, sobra na. Kaya nag-aral din po ako ng TESDA as a hairdresser. And then that was around 2009. And then TESDA, so nag-work na rin po ako sa salon. And then nag-home service na rin po ako. And then kahit na nandito na po si husband po noon, ginagawa ko pa rin po yun. Yung nag-home service pa rin po ako ng mga sa Pilipinas.
Nakikita ko lumalaki yung anak ko. Kumbaga parang, kaya talagang nag-decide din talaga ako, sabi ko parang, nag-try ako sa ibang bansa na mag-apply pero talagang hindi ako talaga pinalan. So talagang may dumating talaga yung nagdadasal. Talagang sabi ko sana dumating isang araw makapag-abroad din ako. Pero kita mo, mabait pa rin si Lord. Binigay ang unang abroad ko dito kagad sa Canada. Kumbaga, pag sinabi mo kasing Canada, right? Hindi, kumbaga, ano bang pumapasok sa isip ng mga tao ng pag-Canada? Wow, magandang future, ganun, mapupunta yung pamilya. Kaya talagang ginawa ko na talaga yung best ko para makarating dito. Work and pray. Kumbaga, ang pagtatrabaho, samahan mo siya ng dasal. Kumbaga talagang trabaho, dasal. In the future, ma'am, magiging successful ka. Ang work ko muna dito, ma'am, is as a cook sa isang Filipino restaurant din. So, pumasok din ako sa isang Filipino restaurant as a cook. So, nag-stay din ako sa kanila mga ilang years din. Dito kasi, pwede kang mag-work sa iba. Yung parang pwede kang mamili kung anong work mo kung immigrant ka na. Pero at that time, foreign worker lang ako. Doon pala ako nag-stay sa isang company o isang restaurant lang na bawal ka mag-work muna sa iba. Pero after that, na PR na ako, permanent residence, open permit, pwede na akong mag-work sa iba't ibang mga restaurant. So, nakapag-work din ako sa ibang mga Vietnamese restaurant, sa mga Western restaurant, like mga Filipino. Ganon din. Kasi parang yun na rin yata yung ano.
Yun ang passion.
Yun ang fashion ko talaga.
Cooking.
Parang, cooking na. Talagang nagluluto na. Ganon. Kaya yun na lang talaga umiikot ang buhay.
Bali po si Rhogie dumating po dito ng December 2013. Tapos po nakarating po kami ng July 2017 po dito sa Canada po.
So tinry lang namin na magkaroon ng catering company. So tinry namin. Tapos eksakto pa na nagkaroon ng pandemic. Yun. Tapos si wife ko lang, dalawa lang kami nag-work no. So yun, nag-decide na po ko talaga kami na palaguin na lang. Ngayon, ito na kami. Kumbaga parang kinakain na namin, katulong ng mga kasama na. Ngayon may mga kasama na.
Actually po, nakatulong po sa amin yung pandemic po kasi nung una po, catering siya, di ba po? Tapos there's an opportunity po na nakababayan natin na niya po sa amin, parang pinarentoon sa amin yung truck po, yung food truck. Nakatulong po ng malaki. Bakit po? Kasi syempre po hindi na makapag-dine in po yung mga customers po, di ba po? So, ang food truck po kasi is outdoor. So, pwede po siya, kumbaga order lang sila and then pick up. Napakabilis po ng ng transition lang po ng namin from catering tapos naging food truck po. And now, meron na rin po kami. Meron stall, meron na rin pong kitchen.
Yung chow, it means kain. Yung Kenny, dito. Para pag pinagsama mo siya is kain dito. Chow Kenny.
Pag narinig niyo po na chow Kenny, malamang masarap talaga ito magluto kasi Kapampangan Kenny eh.
Naisip ko na to, sabi ko sana Lord, isang araw magkaroon ako ng isang restaurant o isang tindahan. Ang pangalan is Chow Kenny. Isang business. Pero dumating yung parang dumarating talaga, pinagpupursige mo, dumaan ng mga taon, nakapunta rito. Kumbaga talagang, eto na siya, sabi ko parang ito na yung opportunity ko. Sabi parang, sige na, subukan na natin.
Siguro yung faith in God po, yun yung po yung pinakauna talaga. Kasi kung wala ka pong paniniwala sa Diyos, hindi ka rin po makakarating kung saan ka nandun ngayon. Tapos po, yung determination na mag-strive ka para maging successful ka. Saka po kung talaga pong fashion niyo po talaga yung isang bagay, talagang gagawa ka po talaga ng paraan para maging successful ka dun sa isang na iniisip niyo po na gusto niyo pong gawin.
Ang masasabi ko lang sa mga katulad ng mga OFW rin, talagang keep trying lang na talaga na kung saan natin, sabi mo sa mga kasama ko rito, titignan natin, sabi nga lang, kung saan tayo papalarin. Huwag tayong tumigil. Kung nasubukan mo isang bagay, nadapa ka, hindi ka success doon sa isang sumubok ka na iba. Malay mo sa pangalawa, pangatlo, yung pala yun. Kailangan meron kayo isang goal, meron din kayo nagmo-motivate sa inyo, una-una family niyo dapat, lagi nakasupport yan.